Right. Good afternoon, everyone, and a warm welcome to all of you on our webinar here today. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to attend. So today's webinar focuses on how you can leverage a Salesforce-Integrated LMS presented by MapleLMS to drive your customer training initiatives directly from Salesforce. We're going to walk you through its key capabilities, showcase a real-world use case, and explain how this approach can profoundly affect your bottom line. But before we get started, let's do a quick round of introductions, and I'll start with myself. My name is Joe Stern, and I'm a sales and business development manager here at MapleLMS, and I'm based in Washington, D.C., just south of our headquarters in Bethesda, Maryland. And I assist our clients in providing solutions to internal and external training and integrating their system of records like a CRM or HRMS to ensure a seamless experience for training for administrators as well as for learners. Joining me here today, I also have Matt Peterson and Avin and I'll now turn it over to Matt and Avin to introduce themselves.
Yeah, thanks, Joe, and thanks for the audience for joining us. We're real excited to talk about this, and you've got a pretty knowledgeable team here. I'm Matt Peterson. I'm the relationship director at MapleLMS, and I work closely with our clients to partner with them on their training, continuing education, and professional development programs, and really to help them achieve their learning objectives around those training programs. Also have Avin with us. Nice to have you with us. Would you like to introduce yourself as well?
Yes, Matt, thank you, and glad to be here. My name is Avin. I'm a key account manager with MapleLMS. I'm also the customer training manager. Been involved with several projects and met several customers over the course of 4 years over here. So happy to be here and share my insights. Back to you, Joe.
Excellent. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Avin. So everyone, we have a rich agenda to cover here today, from understanding the benefits of integrating your LMS with Salesforce to seeing a live demonstration of these capabilities. Just a couple of housekeeping items. We do encourage you all to ask questions through the Q&A panel at the bottom of your screen, and we'll either answer them in the chat or at the end of the presentation. We'll also be presenting a couple of poll questions during the presentation. We would like for you guys to engage and participate in these polls, and we're actually going to be releasing our first poll question now, which is just a easy yes or no question.
Okay, next we'll move along. If we can switch to the next slide, we're just going to cover the agenda for today and tell you about some of the things that we're going to be discussing. We're going to be talking about the customer training landscape and also provide a short introduction to MapleLMS. We're going to be talking about why and how Salesforce can integrate with an LMS, and really what is the important data that needs to flow between these two systems to help achieve your customer training objectives. We'll talk about how this integrated unified view can reveal actionable insights on your customer engagement and how you can personalize learning paths for customers to make the training more effective. We'll also be talking about a meaningful customer training program and how that can have impact on your business, but also on your bottom line. And we'll be taking you live in a Salesforce integrated LMS to show you how the data flow and how it all works. So please stick around for that. And finally, we'll be talking about next steps if you're interested in seeing and learning more. First, I wanted to provide an introduction to MapleLMS and an integrated solution. So MapleLMS is proud to be a Salesforce partner, and as part of that partnership, we can provide a type two-way integration. MapleLMS is listed on the Salesforce App Exchange and is the #1 rated LMS. MapleLMS has really helped to help streamline and maximize the delivery of your education and training programs directly to all your stakeholders. And today we're going to be talking about a customer training program, but MapleLMS can be used to train partners, employees, or in the case of professional associations, members as well. Next, just wanted to highlight how an integrated solution can provide great results. So below we have listed a global tech company who reaped great results from their program. They reduced onboarding time for a global tech firm by 30%, and they also improved sales due to personalized training learning paths by 25%. So you can see great results from this solution. I'm sorry, let me just give me one moment here.
I think by the time we can really release the results to poll question 1 by now.
Right, that would be great. So the first one was an easy question. Are you currently using a learning management system? So I can see that about 43% of our audience is, and 57% are not. So glad to see some of you are using a learning management system. That's kind of the first step to get your customer training program going. And if you're only using it for internal training, you can also use it for external training as well. We also released our second poll question, if you're offering any formal training programs to your customers or partners. So if you can take a minute to respond to that, we would love to see your participation. Okay. And why don't we go ahead and release the results there as well. Okay, and we have a 50-50 split. So some are offering formal training programs to their customers and some are not. So I think we've got a great audience here. If you're offering a customer training program, I think you'll find great results in integrating with a CRM such as Salesforce or any other CRM that you're using. And if you're not, we'll be talking a little bit about how to get this all started. Okay. Okay, let's move along to the next slide if we can. So next I wanted to talk about the customer, the benefits of offering an integrated solution as part of your customer training program. And really the first one will be to provide personalized learning experiences to your customers. Your CRM will contain data such as the role, the purchase history of your customer, the industry they're in, also any support tickets maybe that they raised with you. And this can really help to tailor the content to each customer's needs. An LMS should enable adaptive learning paths based on the customer segmentation or their product usage. Another one is customer onboarding. And when we think about customer training, it's often about onboarding, but you can also use it for also engagement throughout the partnership with your customers. But an integrated solution will automate the onboarding process by enrolling new customers into relevant training as soon as they're added to the CRM. This is going to really help reduce time to value by ensuring customers are quickly educated on your product features and even sharing best practices. Once they complete the onboard training, it could automatically enroll your customers or suggest the next training. And training can really be interspersed based upon the customer life cycle. Number 3 is centralized data and reporting. So you can combine the learning metrics from your LMS, such as course completion, their scores, their progress within your CRM data, which would also have your engagement, your support tickets. And it can enable a holistic reporting on training effectiveness and its impact on customer success and retention. Data will help with quarterly business reviews with customers. So if you have a customer success manager, maybe meeting with your customers, they'll understand and also be able to walk into that meeting with strategies with your customers. Number 4 will be increased engagement and retention. So trained customers tend to adopt products more fully, leading to higher satisfaction and lower churn. And LMS integrations can trigger automated follow-ups or incentives in the CRM to maintain that engagement. Number 5 is a scalable customer education program. LMSs will really help you scale as your business scales and facilitate the rollout of consistent training programs across maybe a very large or even geographically dispersed customer base. And it will reduce the need for one-on-one trainings by offering self-paced, scalable e-learning solutions. The 6th benefit I wanted to mention is sales and support enablement. With sales reps and customer success managers, they can see the training progress directly within the CRM, and that'll help them tailor conversations and support based on the customer knowledge levels. It can also trigger support resources or advanced content when a customer is struggling or reaching certain milestones. The 7th benefit is automatic triggers and workflows. So you can use the Salesforce events such as new deals closed or a support issue open to trigger LMS actions. So it can enroll them in training, send them to a refresher course, and it's really going to support your proactive customer success strategies. The final one I want to highlight is monetization opportunities. So you can easily track which customers have completed certification programs or premium training, and it can tie training to upsell and cross-sell opportunities directly with the CRM. So in summary, why would you want to integrate your LMS directly with Salesforce in the first place? Because it really lets you consolidate all of your training and customer data into a single view. Your Salesforce already knows a lot about your customers, their industry, their products, their renewal dates, their sensitive service cases, and you can really leverage that data to personalize training. This means we can align education directly with the customer journey, driving their engagement when it matters most. And ultimately, this results in a higher renewal rates, loyalty, satisfaction, which directly benefits your bottom line. I did want to talk about one of our current customers and a particular case study. So one of our customers is Dolby Laboratories, and you probably heard of the Dolby brand and some of their products, such as Dolby Surround Sound, Dolby Atmos, True HD, Dolby Vision. Dolby offers high-performance audiovisual technologies, and their customers are largely TV, smartphone, speaker manufacturers such as LG, Samsung, Sony, or streaming platforms like Netflix, Apple TV Plus, gaming consoles like Xbox, PlayStation, and also they support filming studios and production houses, so largely involved in the entertainment industry. They were using an LMS that wasn't integrated with Salesforce and came to us because of our expertise integrating with Salesforce. So now they have an integrated solution to deliver, manage, and track their customer training, and the learning data is coming back into the Salesforce contact records. So they are reaping many of the benefits mentioned on this slide. They have seen their onboarding time reduce. They're recommending and offering personalized training based upon their clients' needs, and they've seen increased customer retention through a more integrated support system and these automated enrollments. Finally, we did help them monetize on some of their training. So they offer some of this basic training and onboarding training to their clients, but they do offer premium training at an additional cost. So we also help them to integrate the Shopify experience on their Salesforce tool to allow them to sell all this previous training. So next, I'll turn it over to Avin. He's going to talk about how Salesforce integrates with an LMS.
Right, thank you, Matt. And when we talk about how the LMS integrates with LMS, there are mainly four items that we're looking at. Number one, it's a bi-directional integration. So it's a two-way integration between both systems, meaning you can have the data syncing both ways. So data such as your customers' data, user data, their course enrollments, completions, and maybe any other items such as achievements or as such. That data can be synced with a customer's record, and that data is essentially flowing from the LMS to a Salesforce record, and also back and forth. So some data from Salesforce can go to the LMS and can sit inside the LMS. And that's really about bidirectional sync. So you have that connection where both systems are talking to each other and sending data back and forth. Secondly, uh, automated user actions. So several actions such as assignments or enrollments into a course or a training can be automated based on several Salesforce events like uh, like a new customer onboarding. So you have a new customer onboarded. When the onboarding happens to say in Salesforce, they could be enrolled into a corresponding course or maybe relevant trainings or content that sits inside the LMS. Thirdly, there's single sign-on. One of the key features of this integration would also be single sign-on, and that's essentially a passwordless access for all your users. And what I've seen with many of our clients, they would have a customer community built on top of Salesforce where their customers log in, get a single sign-on access to MapleLMS or learning management system. So single sign-on would also be one of the key capabilities that the integration comes with. Then also let's talk about some activities and progress that are visible in Salesforce in real time. So we're looking at a real-time data sync between both systems, mainly around learning progress or completions of a course or a training or maybe achieving a certificate. So that data goes back to your Salesforce, and most importantly, the integration can support syncing this data into your native Salesforce objects, making it easy to leverage your existing workflows. So integration can be on top of your existing workflows, can sync the data maybe into your existing objects, into any existing records. From here, let's also send out one more poll. So we have one more poll, and that would be the final poll of this webinar. You should see it on your screen right now. But it's simply asking you if you're not using a Salesforce integrated LMS, and what challenges are you facing, just in case if you're not using Salesforce LMS. So we'll see those responses, but by the time, let's move on, and we'll release the results on the next on this slide or by the end of this slide. Okay, so now also let's talk about mapping and syncing learning data into Salesforce. Um, Technically, several type of data points can be synced, but we mainly look at three items when it comes to mapping and syncing learning data. Firstly, the training metrics. So course completion records, course completion data, any scores, maybe assessment score or quiz scores, and maybe any achievements. So certificates or badges achieved by a customer for completing a training or a course. We are looking at those training metrics to be synced with an individual's record. And also about custom mapping, we can align training data to custom fields. So maybe leads, contacts, or person accounts, or just user accounts. There are different records that different organizations use, but most commonly what I've seen is a contact record. So whenever you're working with a customer training scenario, it would be pretty common to have your customer data into contacts and have that data sync into contacts itself. And lastly, comprehensive reporting. So this mapping and syncing will enable you to build out comprehensive reports and dashboards. So maybe enabling or adding some specific reports that provide actionable insights about some learning data or maybe engagement data right into Salesforce would be a way to go. So training metrics, custom mapping, and comprehensive reporting would be some of the key items within mapping and syncing learning data into Salesforce. With that, let's just release our poll results over here. And we asked, if you're not using a Salesforce integrated LMS, what challenges are you facing? And it sounds like about 50% see limited visibility into learning progress. So they have a limited visibility of learning progress. And similarly, 50% also find scattered training content and inconsistent access. So those are definitely a couple of key points or a couple of key items that the integration can resolve for you. From here, I also have some more items that I wanted to go over. So let's move forward. Let's look at gaining a unified view of customer engagement. So maybe just having a unified view of your customer engagement into Salesforce and how we can achieve that. Firstly, through comprehensive customer profiles, so we can combine service, sales, and training data together, maybe into a report. So that could probably look like products that a customer has purchased, and the trainings that they've taken for those, and maybe any service related data as well, just in case if there's service specific items that you support. And then identifying high value customers. So with a unified view, we could identify which clients are deeply engaged and progressing through training, basically indicating a strong renewable signal. So your customers who are likely engaging into your content consistently, those are some of your high value customers, and that's something to identify. Also, similar to that, identifying any low engagement or poor scores for a customer, and maybe highlighting a need for intervention that kind of highlights a need for intervention, and those are most likely your at-risk customers. So when you see less engagement, it's probably that your customer is at risk. So it's something to identify. Also, role-based visibility. So we could provide tailored views to different teams. So you may have sales team, support team, customer success team, and maybe a unified view will give them a holistic view or give them the insights that they need to retain your customers or to drive customer success. With that, let's move on and also talk about using Salesforce Insights to personalize training paths. So training paths are a great way to engage your customers or simply create um, I would say, a pathway to learning about your product. So if you're a product company offering training related to the product, training paths or learning paths would probably be the way to go. A training path essentially, or a training journey, or a learning path is essentially a collection or series of trainings or courses that a customer may need to go through. So maybe starting off with a foundational course that gives them some beginner insights about the products that you have, how to use those products, what capabilities they come with, and similarly having some additional courses linked together, which provide some advanced knowledge about the products that you're using. So, what I'm suggesting is maybe building out a path which goes in a sequential way, uh, giving you the basic knowledge first and taking you all the way through the advanced knowledge of a product or a service that you offer to your customer. But with these training paths, we can have personalized journeys based on customer profile, their activity within your LMS, or just about engagement with your products or in general with your organization, or depending on their preferences, a customizable learning path could be offered or a personalized learning path could be offered. We could also automate recommendations. So there are Salesforce workflows which can uh, match with your customer's role or the products that they use, and essentially provide recommendations of relevant content, or say relevant materials within your LMS. So as an example, let's say you have a customer who's interested in a product. Salesforce knows that. And let's say you have similar content built out in MapleLMS, maybe a course which offers some foundational information about this product, about how to use it. So with that information in place, the LMS could basically recommend the relevant courses to these individuals since they are interested in that product or have already purchased that product. Also, a personalized training path can lead to higher completions, and personalized content would essentially drive more engagement and knowledge retention. So you should see a lot more completions, you should see a lot more engagement, because it's all relevant content that your customer is engaging into, something that they're really interested in. Lastly, all of it leads to boosting your customer success. So we then have better informed and more proficient clients who know how to use our products, who know how to use our services, technically translates into loyalty and renewal, and overall boost your customer success, boost your customers' engagement. So I would say those are a few benefits of using um, insights from Salesforce and building out personalized learning paths into MapleLMS to support your customer success. With that, I'm gonna redirect to Joe to talk a little bit about business impact and revenue insights. So over to you, Joe.
Perfect. Thank you, Avin. So your education and training program isn't just nice to have, it directly impacts renewal and expansion and can increase revenue. And an LMS can save on training costs. So by using Salesforce native reports, you can uncover hidden revenue opportunities. For example, by identifying which trained accounts are more likely to buy additional products or services. And because all this data lives in Salesforce, you can connect education directly to renewal and expansion metrics, proving its return on investment to stakeholders. This lets you to quantify your education program's role in driving revenue and retaining customer relationships. And now I'll actually pass the reins back over to Avin, who's going to walk us through a live demonstration. So back to you, Avin.
Thank you, Joe. And for this demonstration, we'll be looking at several capabilities that we talked about in the webinar so far. Clearly, I want to show what a customer experience could look like. And in this example, I'm going to use one of the customer communities as well. So a community that's built on top of Salesforce, how the LMS could integrate with that and provide a better front-end experience for your customers, a single sign-on experience. And also we'll look at some of the admin capabilities in Salesforce and how your data can come back, how you can assign courses or assign paths, and what metrics we can track within Salesforce. So let's dive into that. I'm gonna move to my other screen, and I'll just need your confirmation once you see it.
You
Okay,
can see it.
perfect. So just everybody knows, and just so you know what we're looking at right now, we're looking at a customer community or an experience site that's built on top of Salesforce. And this overall environment is integrated with a MapleLMS instance. So it's supporting single sign-on. It's also supporting a data sync between two systems. I'm logged in as a customer right now. And when your customer arrives at the community, they can navigate to a couple of spots. So they have learning specific items over there. So for instance, if we go to learning progress on this page, we'll see a list of courses that this customer is enrolled into. There's also a view of the number of certificates they've achieved. and a view of what these courses actually look like. So there are course cards, and we're looking at a layout over here that shows the courses that this customer is enrolled into. So these are in progress. I've got a couple of product specific courses over here. There's also a learning path which leads to certification. There are some courses that the customer hasn't started yet, and those could be found on this tab. There's also one which was completed and can be found right over here. The one thing to notice is that the redirect is pretty seamless. So if you notice, each of these course cards or courses will have a button on the bottom that says open in the LMS. And that essentially gives you a single sign-on access. It wouldn't ask you to log in again to the learning site, but simply log you in to the site with your existing credentials and take you straight to the course that you have clicked on. To see an example, let's say we try to open this in the LMS. Once we click into it, you'll see a new tab opening up. And I'm launched into this certification learning path, which has several stages as well, and has about 3 courses that need to be completed by all the customers. And once they complete all the 3 and also complete a certification exam, they get access to a certificate of completion right within this training. Also, just to encourage some friendly competition, you've got some leaderboard capabilities too. So you can add levels, you can create different levels, multiple levels, and you can associate points to reach that level into this course or this learning path. Now we talked about creating personalized paths. This over here is very specific to a product. And I'm going to jump into one example over here just to show what this could look like. So over here, I'm looking at a course that has a video lesson on how to get started with that particular product, along with a help guide as well. And lastly, a quiz to assess the knowledge of this customer. So this is how it could be built out and how it could support uh, customer training, particularly say product specific training as well. And I've got about 33% progress in the first course, 8% overall. But that's how you can access, that's how your customers can access the LMS. And I'm going to redirect back to the community just for a bit. There are different pages that a customer can navigate into through this integration. Uh, so we looked at an example on how we can access the an exact course or a training that I'm enrolled into. I can also click on MapleLMS Learning, and this would again send me inside the LMS environment, but this time on a search page where I can search and find a training or a course that I'm interested in and simply enroll myself into that course. So those are a couple of ways on how individuals navigate to the LMS through a single sign-on. And let's also launch into this guide, read it out, and we can then check this guide as read or as completed. So we have some latest progress recorded. So with that, let's say we read the guide. I'm going to check that as completed. And just with a quick refresh over here, I'm going to see my progress go up 66%. But this data will also sync back. So not just inside the LMS, this data will also sync back on your customer community. So your customer always have a real-time view of their current progress. There we go, 66%. And when we look up this customer's record in Salesforce, we'll see the similar progress as well. We'll see what trainings they're taking, their progress, completions, and any achievements, maybe certificates or badges as well. With that, let's jump into the Salesforce environment over here. And quite a few things that I'll walk you through, and I'll try to keep it brief because we can then go deep down, and actually this could take up a lot of time considering a demonstration. So there's a lot to look at, but I'll try to navigate into some of the core capabilities. So we talked about data sync, and let's just pull up one of our customer's record over here. This is David Smith. And this is what the objects could look like inside a customer's record. So objects to track courses that your customer is enrolled into. Let's just click view all. And we'll see a list of courses over here. We're also looking at the progress within some of these courses. Also can have completion status, completion date included within these data fields. And also there could be information about achievements. So along with courses, maybe a list of certificates that a customer has achieved, the date when they achieved, and maybe if they achieved a badge, the name of that badge, and the date when the badge was issued. So this is the data which would reside into your customer's contact records in Salesforce. And clearly on top of it, we can build out reports, we can build out dashboards that can help us track different data points. For example, I'll just pull up some dashboards over here and let's do a quick refresh. So we have the latest data before us. So popular courses, and that's basically showing your top 10 courses versus enrollment count. So the ones with maximum enrollments will rise, and we'll be able to see those on this bar chart. Tracking completion reports month-wise, so a monthly view of completions by courses, or simply tracking monthly enrollment reports. That is to identify how much engagement we are looking at. So about 70 participants in June, and we see that drop to just 6 in the month of May. So that is clearly a signal over here. You need to drive more engagement, maybe offer relevant content. Top 10 certificates. So you may offer certifications for your product trainings. You may offer simply certificate of completions, but it's a way to track the number of certificates that have been issued to the number of participants. About 20 participants received a certificate of completion, and there are different types of certificates that I've added over here. On top of it, building out reports. So maybe a monthly enrollment report, or maybe a completion report would be a way to track. We can track what courses participants enrolled into, the name of the participants, the date when the enrollment happened, a course ID, the name of the course as well, and simply a bar chart representing the data. But I hope this gives you a gist of what it could look like and what it could do for you. A lot more capabilities, a lot more feasibility with this integration. There are also some workflows that can run from within Salesforce itself. So I'm just going to switch to the MapleLMS app and walk you through one example over here, which would be around courses. So on this list, I'll find courses, and I can have an option to assign courses as well. So for example, we've got a few over here. You've got a course enrollment option. So simply select that. And what then we should see is a list of our contacts. So these are again our contact records. I have about 32. And a list of courses. So there's about 867 courses over here. And you can simply pick and choose what course has to be assigned to what individual. And it doesn't have to happen individually. It could be a bulk assignment as well. So maybe assigning a course or a training to a set of user profile. That's also feasible. But then you'll see options to enroll into the course, and that would trigger enrollment of the participants that we've selected into the courses that we've selected. Also, in some cases, you may want to manually approve user accounts or provision user accounts. So that's also a feasibility where you can create new records or simply assign access of the LMS to a specific customer type, and that would also be a feasibility. With that, I'll just switch back over here. And few more things. Now, when you're working on an opportunity, and I do not have right now over here, but most of the recommendations can also come within opportunities, but that might be helpful for your sales team. For your customers, they can get recommendations right inside the LMS. So if we just go back for a bit, come to our dashboard, we'll see a page for recommended courses. And now if you notice, there are some recommendation based on the interest of an individual, the interest of this customer. So this customer engaged into a few courses, and there's relevant content. There are relevant courses available with some relevant content, and those get recommended automatically as well. In addition, new customers may also choose to add the topics that they're interested in or update the topics that they're interested in straight into their profile, and they can get recommendations for that as well. Or some of the automations that we talk about would be enrolling your customers into learning paths. So maybe having a learning path with a series of courses to go through, starting with an introduction course, some advanced course, maybe a exam by the end of it, which awards a certificate of completion. So those are some capabilities that I wanted to walk you through. From here, I'm going to redirect back to Joe, and I'm going to switch to my slide as well. Oh, sorry, I'm going to redirect back to Matt and switch to the slide. Just let me know once you can see my slide.
Yeah, we can see it again, Avin, and thank you for that demo. That just scratched the surface about the data and the reporting, combining that data with your customers' products. Products can be linked to specific training courses. When you have support tickets come in, those can be linked to courses so your support team can help out. And then when your customer success manager kind of comes in, they'll be able to see all this learning progress, the products they're using, and make recommendations for them to continue their journey with your organization. So we can move to the next slide. So as we wrap up today's webinar, let's reflect on what we've covered. MapleLMS will let you leverage your existing Salesforce ecosystem to align your education directly with your customer journey. And through automation and personalization, you can drive greater engagement and loyalty amongst your customers. We talked about bi-directional syncing and how this lets you track all this progress without needing separate systems, and to create unified reports to enable your team to make smarter decisions based on that real data. Ultimately, this really will transform your training from a simple cost center into a powerful tool for growth, boosting satisfaction, retention, and revenue. And I'm going to turn it over to Joe, and we're going to wrap up. I think also take a look at questions.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Matt. So everyone, if you'd like to see this in action for your own organization, we'd be delighted to schedule a discovery call to learn more about your current environment and training and learning processes. And then we could walk you through a customized demonstration of MapleLMS tailored to your goals and use cases. Additionally, we can connect you with our team of training experts for a training consultation where we'll assess your needs and advise you on the best way forward. And whether you're just, exploring possibilities or perhaps ready to implement, we're here to help you and maximize your education initiatives. And we can go to the next slide here, Avin. So before I wrap up, just want to take a look at some questions we have here. Looks like we have a couple of outstanding questions. And it looks like the first one we have, and I'll direct this to you, Avin, is how much time does it take to integrate an LMS and Salesforce?
Well, yeah, I mean, time it takes to integrate could be as little as a few weeks, could be as lengthy as much as say a few more weeks, maybe a month or two. But it's typically quick to integrate. There are a few things that you have to look at when you talk about integration. So clearly that data flow, what data do you expect? But briefly, you're looking at a few weeks to fully implement a learning management system with your Salesforce environment, and then take it live to your customers.
And I'll just add on to that. If you're looking to do this, just understanding what data you want to flow is important for an integration partner to understand, and what are the actionable reports and items that you want. So if you're getting that in line, that can help expedite that process.
Yeah, and I think in addition to that, the question also asks if there's a cost associated with an LMS Salesforce integration. So yeah, there should be a cost associated with it. Most LMSs will charge you a fee, maybe a one-time fee, to integrate with a Salesforce environment. If your current provider does not provide that integration, you may have to look for alternate options, maybe systems that integrate with Salesforce already, or maybe finding a partner who can support integration. But yeah, there will be a fee or a cost involved to integrate both systems.
Perfect. Thank you, Matt and Avin. Looks like we have another question. Do we need to have a community built out in Salesforce to integrate?
I'll take that. So it's not mandatory to have a community to make this integration work. Let's assume you don't have a community. Your customers can still log in to the LMS, and I'll just take example of MapleLMS over here. So your MapleLMS environment comes with a landing page and a login page, which could also automate some processes, meaning when your customer comes to the landing page, they may end up creating their account, or if they already have an account, they can simply log in with a username and a password, and that kind of eliminates the need for a community because you also get some engagement tools inside. But having a community would be great because then you're able to provide a lot more as compared to just logging in to the LMS site. But just to answer your question, it's not mandatory to have a community site. You can still have an integration which sends data back and forth between your Salesforce and your LMS.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Avin. Looks like we're all caught up on outstanding questions, but please, if anyone else has any questions, feel free to chime in. And of course, we can answer them post webinar as well. And I wanted to really thank everyone for attending our webinar today. I know you all have busy schedules, so we appreciate you taking time to do so. And we hope you found today's session insightful, on the benefits of a Salesforce integrated LMS. And if anyone has any questions or would like to schedule a follow-up meeting, or if you have any other types of requests, please contact us. We have our email and phone number listed here on the slide, as you can see. So please feel free to reach out for any questions or requests. And thank you all so much again for your time. Have a great rest of your week, and I hope to see you all again in the future, whether on a follow-up meeting or on our next webinar. Thank you all so much for attending the session today.